So it all comes down to this. Who will be getting the last spot to the World Cup from the UEFA Confederation? Will it be Wales, who haven't qualified for the World Cup since 1958, their only ever appearance in the competition? Or will it be Ukraine, who haven't qualified since 2006? One of these teams will return. Who will it be? Sunday is going to be an epic night in Cardiff, at the Cardiff City Stadium. Who do you think will win? Who do you think will qualify and take their last remaining spot from UEFA? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you're new around here, subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and let's get to the prediction video of Wales versus Ukraine playoff final. So let's start off with the host, Wales. What do they bring to this game? Well, they bring an impeccable home record. They haven't lost a competitive home game since 2018 to Denmark. That is something to behold. If you're a Welsh fan, you can take that with confidence. You can take that as a player. Massive confidence heading into this game. They did well against Austria. I thought they were the better side for most of the game. Once they got the second goal, they kind of sat back and invited the pressure, but they were able to withstand the pressure and advance to the playoff final in Path A of UEFA. We all know the players they have. Gareth Bale, Allen, Ramsey, Harry Wilson, Nico Williams. You have Rodon and you have Ben Davies in the back. Will it be Hennessy? I think Hennessy will start the game. So Wales have a lot of options to get the goal scoring. And when you have a player like Gareth Bale, who's fresh, because he doesn't play for Real Madrid. Now he's a free agent. His ultimate goal is to lead his country to the World Cup. And he has a massive chance to do it at home. That would be a huge marker and laying down for Gareth Bale to be one of the greatest ever British players. He is already the greatest Welsh player of all time, no doubt about that. But he can become the greatest British player of all time if he can lead his country to the World Cup. And we know he's going to show up. Those 2 goals he scored against Austria in March were absolutely fantastic, especially the free kick. The guy is absolutely sensational with his shooting technique. You need to get a good game from Ramsey and Allen in the midfield if they are going to start. You need Harry Wilson to be the creator like he's been all season with Fulham. And Ben Davies, who's actually been quite good with Tottenham, leading the defensive line. And I think they can do this, Wales. They're very good defensively. They have a wonderful blend of youthful players, experienced players like Ramsey and Bale leading the squad, Hennessy. And Rob Page has done an absolutely marvelous job as still interim manager. So I think Wales are going to be very confident heading into this game. And tactically, they're going to take the game to Ukraine as well. I think they can learn from Scotland. If you allow Ukraine to dictate play and allow them to play their football, they can hurt you. And I think that's something Rob Page is going to see in this game. I think that's the tactics that Rob Page should apply. Get an early goal, frustrate Ukraine, get a second one, and that, I think it's game over then. Once it gets to 2-0, it's game over for Wales. I don't see them conceding more than 1 goal in this match. And for Ukraine, I mean, an absolutely marvelous performance in Hampden Park. Away, with all the circumstances that are going on in the country, with their brilliant performance they put out. I mean, they completely dominated Scotland. You can say it was a poor Scotland. To me, I thought it was an excellent Ukraine. When you have a midfield with Zinchenko and Malinovsky and the passing ability these 2 players have, and Zinchenko was absolutely by far the best player on the field with his dribbling, calmness on the ball. He can find a pass from anywhere. Zinchenko, if he can have that same sort of game, he can definitely hurt this Welsh team. Then you have Stepanenko, you have Malinovsky, who also control the midfield very well. They need Yaremchuk not to be so frustrating to watch sometimes. Because Roman Yaremchuk, he got the goal, but otherwise I don't think he was that good. His link-up play was pretty good. One-touch passing from Ukraine was really nice in Scotland's half. They need to replicate that. They can't be dilly-dallying on the ball. They need to just quick passes, 1-2s, boom, boom, past the Welsh defense. And I think that's something that Alexander Petrikov has done very well. He's still undefeated as Ukrainian national team manager. 3 wins and 5 draws. They haven't lost a game since the Euros quarterfinal matchup against England. So Ukraine are a very good team. And like I said, they don't concede a lot of goals. They didn't really score a lot of goals until the match at Scotland. You look at the wingbacks, you have Karavayev, you have Mykolenko, who were excellent getting forward. They can't be going too much forward this time because they have to be worried about James and Bale if Dan James does start, because they're going to have pace. They're going to have a better ability on the ball compared to Shea Adams and Lyndon Dijk. So that's something that Alexander Petrikov has to be worried about. So you need Zaborny and you need Matvienko to be on their game, especially against Bale. They must mark him out of the match. They need to just say, all right, we're going to mark Bale out. The other players on Wales, you try and win this game. That's the tactic that Ukraine must try and apply. but it's hard against Gareth Bale because he is one of the best players in the world on his day. On his day. He doesn't have a lot of days during the season, but when it's his day, it's very difficult to keep Gareth Bale quiet. So I think the thing for Ukraine is you're definitely going to go into another hostile environment. Once again, Wales are a very good home side. They need to just play their own game. They need to have that same sort of first 60 minutes where they pressed Scotland very well. They were absolutely dominant in the midfield. And if Yarmolenko can still show signs that he's 25 like he did against Scotland, because the guy was absolutely brilliant. His dribbling, the touch, and the goal he scored. Yarmolenko was a beast against Scotland. So they need another performance from them. And you know the situation going on in the country is definitely a huge motivation for these players. And that really showed in Scotland. So I think Ukraine can definitely cause a huge threat to Wales with the players they have, with the midfield they have, but it's going to be very difficult in Cardiff. So now for my prediction. I really did think the rust was going to hurt Ukraine in Scotland. Half of the squad have not played a competitive game since December. It didn't look like it in Scotland. That's how good Ukraine were. And they're going to need another top performance in this game. Wales, on the other hand, had a Nations League game against Poland, lost 2-1, but it didn't really matter because they rested pretty much everybody for this important game coming up on Sunday. So I wonder about the fitness of the Ukrainian players, because it's been a long time for some of them that they haven't played 2 games in a very short span. Obviously, traveling is not that much of an issue because Wales to Scotland is not that big of a travel. So this is a difficult one to call. But I just wonder, one player has a superstar and the other team doesn't. The other team, Ukraine, has a lot of good players, technically gifted, like Yarmolenko and Zinchenko. But Wales have that guy who can get you a goal out of anything. And they have a defense who can keep the other team quiet. So I think Wales, who I really did not think would qualify to the World Cup, are going to qualify to the World Cup for the first time since 1958. And they will win this game 2-1. I think it's going to be a similar picture to what it was against Austria for Wales. They're going to go 2-0 up in the game. Ukraine are going to get a late goal in the last 20 minutes. Could be a little bit nervy then in Cardiff, but they will hold on and get the 2-1 victory, and Wales will qualify. Gareth Bale will cement his status as one of the greatest ever British players if they can qualify to Qatar. So there's my prediction. I think Wales will win 2-1. Am I confident in the pick? Not really. Because as I said before Scotland and Ukraine, I wasn't confident. I picked Scotland and they lost 3-1. So I have to just say, if either team qualified, I'm going to be very, very happy for them because it's been a long time for both teams, especially for Welsh fans. So best of luck to both teams. It should be an epic night on Sunday. There will definitely be a watch-along for the game. It's an early kickoff somewhat here in Finland, so it's going to be prime time for that, and I cannot wait for the matchup. So join me for the watch-along for Wales versus Ukraine. Remember to hit a like button on the video, subscribe to the channel if you're new around here, and also give your prediction for Wales versus Ukraine, the big match happening on Sunday. But further ado, have a beautiful day, stay safe everyone, and adios!